This video examines the case of Realiza versus People, a landmark Supreme Court decision that highlights the mathematical transformation of restorative justice in the Philippines. In 2011, a petty theft in Dipolog City involving items valued at 1,600 pesos resulted in a prison sentence based on laws from the 1930s. This case illustrates the disconnect between outdated sentencing and modern economic realities. The incident occurred on January 7, 2011 in Sitio Lumcanad. The prosecution claimed the accused, Carlo Realiza, stole personal items, threatened witnesses, and was later seen with the stolen property. The defense presented an alibi, but the Supreme Court found it inherently weak. The court concluded that the accused had sufficient time to commit the theft, and physical impossibility was not proven. Reviewing the elements of theft under Article 308, the court confirmed that the act of taking, the ownership of the items, the intent to gain, and the lack of consent were all established beyond reasonable doubt. Lower courts repeatedly affirmed the guilty verdict. However, they were bound by the rigid math of the old penal code, which mandated a multi-year prison sentence for a 1,600 peso theft. The Supreme Court intervened, noting that basing penalties on values from the 1930s is not only anachronistic and archaic, but also unjust and legally absurd. Republic Act No. 10,951 corrected this by adjusting property values to reflect modern economics. This reclassification dropped the penalty tier for the theft from years in prison to a much lighter sentence. Furthermore, the Community Service Act of 2019 allows judges the discretion to require community service instead of jail time for certain offenses, supporting the goal of decongesting Philippine jails. These two laws work together like gears. One adjusts the penalty, and the other allows for community service, resulting in a non-custodial restorative outcome. The transformation of penalty is clear, moving from a retributive approach with years of imprisonment to a restorative approach focused on rehabilitation and community contribution. Ultimately, the Supreme Court affirmed the guilt, but modified the sentence to community service. The case was remanded to determine the specific hours and conditions of this service. Realiza versus People stands as a landmark for systemic evolution, proving that justice is about ensuring that punishments fit modern realities through proportionality, decongestion, and restoration.